Okay, so welcome to the deep dive. Today we're tackling something that, well, it can feel like climbing Everest, can't it? Japanese verbs.
It really can.
Yeah.
But we've got a guide, a sort of Shopa, if you like. It's the Japanese Verbs QuickStudy Language Guide.
Right, and our goal, our mission today is really to understand how these verbs are put together, how they work, how they change.
Yeah, and learning verbs, I mean, that's often the key, isn't it, to unlocking a language. What's really useful about this guide, I think, is how it groups the verbs right away.
Oh, using a system that feels kind of familiar if you're used to English.
Exactly. Seeing it laid out with the Roman alphabet, Romaji, it gives you a bit of a foothold.
So, yeah, if you're listening, and you are, the idea is to grasp the basics, the core structure of these verbs and how they, well, transform. Okay, let's dive in.
Let's kick things off with the foundation. The three main verb groups. This guide divides them up based on how they conjugate. You've got group one.
The u-droppers.
Right, sometimes called that. Then group two, the ru-droppers. And group three, which is just the two irregular verbs.
Okay, like different verb families with their own rules.
Precisely. Think of it like that. Each has its own way of changing.
So, group one, the u-droppers. What's their deal? What makes them group one?
Well, the main thing is their dictionary form, the plain form. It ends with a U sound. Like,
Examples.
yeah, like kaku to write, or oyogu to swim,
Koko.
to speak, matsu to wait,
Okay.
to die, sabu to fly,
Yeah.
yomu to lead, bai to take,
Yeah.
emu to think.
You see?
The final U sound.
Got it. That U ending is a pretty clear signpost. But wait, the guide throws a curveball, doesn't it? It says some verbs ending in iru or iru also belong to group one.
Ah, yes. That's where it gets a little tricky. It adds a layer, because group two verbs also often end in eru or iru.
Yeah.
But there's this specific subset of eru and iru verbs that actually follow the group one rules.
Like which ones?
Okay, examples would be aishin, kairu, to return. Hairu, which can be to enter or to run, depends on the kanji. Airu, meaning to need.
Not the to be one.
No, different iru. Also, hashiru, to run, kiru, to cut, and chiru, to know. They look like group two maybe, but they act like group one.
So, okay, if I see a verb ending in iru or iru, how do I know? Is it group one behaving oddly or is it group two? It's not obvious just from looking at it.
It really isn't. And the guide is smart here. It says you basically have to check, look at it in a dictionary, or see how it's used in a sentence. Context is key. You'll get a feel for it eventually, but at the start, yeah, you'll likely need to look them up. It's like you need to know the specific engine, not just the car model.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
So those group one iru verbs are a check the manual situation. Got it. Now let's look at group two, the ru-droppers. The name suggests something about the ending again.
Exactly. Group two verbs also end in eru, or iru usually. But the big difference is how they conjugate. They tend to drop that final ru sound for many forms.
Examples.
Sure. Eruts, to eat.
Mm-hmm.
Miru, to see. Ajuru, to give or to raise. Dikiru, to be able to.
Ah, and the other eru-iru.
Yes. The to be or to exist one. Completely different verb from to need, even though they sound the same in the plain form. And also, erupkungiru, to think.
So that eru-iru ending isn't a magic bullet for grouping them. You really have to learn which verb is which.
That's a really important point. The ending gives you clues, definitely. That u sound for group one is pretty solid, but eru or eru, you got to dig a little deeper. Be a verb detective.
Okay, verb detective. I like that. All right, that just leaves the rebels, the odd ones out. Group three, the irregulars. I'm guessing this is a small group.
Very small, but very important. Just two verbs. Kuru, which means to come, and suru, which means to do.
That's it. Just two.
That's it. They're irregular because their changes, their conjugations, don't fit the patterns of group one or two. You just have to memorize their forms. They're the exceptions.
Okay, two irregulars. Doesn't sound too bad. Q. So we have our three families. Now, the really interesting part, how do they actually change? For different tenses, politeness, all that stuff, where do we start with the forms?
Well, the guide kicks off with the plain form, and that makes sense. It's the basic informal dictionary version, the one you use with friends, family, and it's the base for building lots of other forms.
The plain form. Okay, the no-frills version. How does it look in action? The guide uses akuru to write.
Right. So for kaku, the plain present tense is just kaku, simple.
And past tense.
The plain past is kaita. Now, Interestingly, the guide doesn't really list a separate future plain form. Often the plain present just covers the future too, in casual speech. Context tells you.
Okay, what about negatives? Plain negative present is akanai don't write or won't write. And plain negative past is akanakata didn't write. So even in the plain form, we've got present, past, negative. But there's more to it, right? Conditionals and things.
Oh, yeah. The guide shows the conditional forms, kakaba or kadeti, kaktara. Both mean something like if I write or if I wrote.
Two ways to say if.
Yeah, slight nuances, but both conditional. And the negative conditional, kakenakareba or if I don't write. And the volitional, like let's do something.
That's aku for let's write or I intend to write.
And questions. How do you ask a question using the plain form?
You just stick the particle on the end. Super casual. Like akuno. Are you going to write? Or aren't you going to write? Past tense too. Kaikano. Did you write? Akanakatano. Didn't you write? Okay. Plain form fundamental. Casual chat base for other forms. Got it. Now, how do we level up the politeness? That's the masu form, isn't it?
Exactly. The polite form, often called the masu form because, well, the present future affirmative ends in our masu. This is crucial for showing respect, talking to colleagues, strangers, people you don't know well.
And the guide mentions the pre-masu form. What's that?
Ah, that's simply the part of the verb that comes right before you add the ending, the verb stem, essentially. It's important because lots of other forms build on that stem, too.
Okay, so how do we get our example kaku into this polite masu form? The guide gives general examples here, not specifically for kaku.
Right, so to get that pre-masu stem for a group 1 verb like kaku, you change the final u sound syllable to its corresponding e sound syllable. Ku becomes ki.
Ah, like moving up a line on the hiragana chart.
Exactly. So kaku becomes ki, and then you add our kakimasu. That's the polite present future.
Okay, I see the pattern. I then add masu for group 1. How about polite negatives and past tense?
Easy enough. Replace masu with masen for the negative present future. So, kakimasen, don't, won't write.
Okay.
For the past affirmative, change masu to mashita.
So, kakimashita wrote.
And past negative.
That becomes masen deshita. So, kakimasen deshita didn't write. And just like the plain form, the polite masu form has its own conditional and volitional versions and ways to ask questions.
It does. The polite conditional is formed from the past tense. Add to ratu amasia or masenshita. So, kakimashita if I wrote, or kakimashita if I didn't write.
Okay.
The volitional, the let's form, is masu. So, kakimashita, let's write.
And questions. Just add kam.
Yep, just add ka at the end. Kakimasuga. Will you write? Kak, the form. Kakimasuga. Did you write? Kakimasen deshitaka. Didn't you write? Very useful.
Okay, solid ground here with plain and polite. Now, the te form. This looks like a big one. The guide calls it the gerund form and lists loads of uses. A real workhorse.
Oh, absolutely. It's probably one of the most versatile and essential forms you'll learn. You make it by changing the end of the plain form verb in specific ways.
Depending on the verb group and the ending sound.
Exactly. It's like the Swiss Army knife of Japanese grammar. You use it for so many things.
Okay, let's break down how to make it first. Group 1 seems to have the most rules.
It does. It depends on the final sound. So for group 1, if it ends in ku, it usually changes to ite.
Usually.
Yeah, there's one really common exception. Ite iku. To go becomes ite, not ite. Got to remember that one.
Okay, iku becomes ite. Got it. What else for group 1?
If it ends in gu, it changes to ide. If it ends in su, it becomes shite. If it ends in bu, mu, or nu, all three of those change to winde.
Okay. Bu, mu, nu, mi become ande.
Right. And finally, if it ends in wu or tsu, both of those change to hide.
Phew. That's quite a list of changes. Could we have some examples, maybe? Make it stick.
Definitely. Let's see. Ku to onto ite, onto open becomes ilo win. Sawagu, to be noisy, becomes ande. Slowly to fly becomes ite. Go nulumu, to drink becomes arn, nonde. Nunutunu, romu, to drink becomes anu, nondo. Nuntunu, to die becomes anu, shinde.
And the last ones. Ru and...
Right. Ru to set, kairu, the group 1 to return, becomes arkate. And su to winda, to win becomes ato.
Wow, okay. Seeing them like that helps a lot. What about group 2? Is making the tet form easier for them?
Yeah, generally much simpler. You usually just drop the final ru from the dictionary form and add art to the stem.
Ah, okay. Like tabaru, to eat.
Exactly. Drop ru, edite. It becomes arstabete.
Easy peasy.
The guide doesn't list specific examples here, but that's the pattern.
And our 2 irregulars, kuru and suru, do they follow any pattern?
Nope. Gotta memorize them.
Mm-hmm.
Suru becomes arshite. And arsho becomes arshikite.
Okay, suru, shai, kuru, kai. Got it. Right, so now we know how to make the tau form. What can we actually do with it? The guide mentioned loads of uses.
Yeah, let's run through them. One super common use is for actions in progress, like the Englishing.
How does that work?
You combine the te form with ero, the to be exist one, or its polite form, eru. Eru is a shade. So, benkyū shiteru is study. The te form is yondi, so benkyū shiteru is I am studying.
Oh, okay.
Or yamu, to read. Te form is yonde, so yonde masu is I'm reading. Polite.
And you can ask questions with it.
Yep. And no for plain questions, Nad for polite. Nani mo miteru no? What are you
That-
looking at? Or nani mo shitemasu ka? What are you doing?
Okay, so it's the Japanese ing. What else?
It can also work with the present perfect in English. An action finished in the past, but it's relevant now.
Example.
Ha, haha ni niteru. I look like my mother. The looking started in the past, but it's true now. Or, no, Mr. Smith. Knowing him started before, but the question is about now.
Ah, linking past action to present state. Okay. What about listing actions in order?
Yes, the ta form is great for that. It connects verbs in sequence, like do A, then do B.
Okay.
Example.
Yeah.
Basu yuhan wa tabette. Basu yuhan wa tabette sore kara eiga ka ni ikimashita. First we ate dinner, and then we went to the movies. The tabet links the actions.
Gotcha. Another one.
Sure. Uri shiri ni nete rokuchi ni okita. I went to sleep at 11 and woke up at 6. Nete connects them.
And it can show cause and effect too. Did A, so B happened.
Exactly. Like, uterufinonde norimashita. I took the medicine and then I got better. The medicine caused the recovery.
Okay, this te form is really flexible. The guide also mentions using it with giving and receiving verbs.
Yes.
Combining the T form with these verbs clarifies who does something for whom. It shows the direction of benefit. Can you give an example? Sure. Kodomo ni kono shashin o misete ajuru. I will show these photos to the child. Misete ajuru, I'm giving the action of showing. Okay. Or kanojo wa Smith-san ni shashin wo misete moramashita. She got Mr. Smith to show her the photos. Misete moramashita, she received the action. Ani kuru dayashim gwe hor. Smith-san wa kanojo ni shashin wo misete koramashita. Mr. Smith showed her, someone in my group, the photos. Miset kuramashita, he gave the action towards us. And te form plus hoshi. That means you want someone else to do something. Exactly. Te plus hoshi expresses, I want you, him, her, them to do X. Super useful. The guide mentions it but doesn't give an example right here. It seems like it can even describe a state of being, like with adjectives. Yeah, kind of. Combined with har and arrow, it can describe a continuous state. Like, toshokon wa mada iteru, the library is still open. Ayu iru, it's in a state of being open. Ah, or like being married. Right. Smith-san wa kekkon shiteru, Mr. Smith is married. It's his current state. And finally, asking permission and making requests. Te form again. You bet. For asking permission politely, te form plus mo ii desu ka. Like, kore wo totemo ii desu ka. Is it okay if I take this? More polite. Te form plus deshuka. Like, mo yoroshi deshuka. Like, koko ni suatte mo yoroshi deshuka. Is it all right if I sit here? Even more formal. And making requests. Polite request. Te form plus yakurasai. Asoka ni oite kudasai. Please put it over there.
And informal requests.
Sometimes just the te form itself works. Like, jerk a mat. Wait a minute. Or hold on. Depends on context and who you're talking to, of course. Wow. Okay, the te form is definitely the MVP so far. All right, moving on. The terry form, this sounds like it's for lists, but vaguely.
That's a good way to put it. The terry form is for listing actions, but without implying a specific order and suggesting these are just examples of the kinds of things done.
How do you make it?
You take the te form, that's the plain past tense, like kaita from aser, re, to it, so to you, okay, tari. Then you usually list a couple of these tari forms and end with suru or shimasu.
Okay. Tari.
Yeah. The example is yuju yumbaise. Shumasu ni jidensha ni notari. One voi andari suru. On weekends, I do things like ride bicycles or read books. It implies maybe you do other things too, and not necessarily in that order.
Gotcha. Like saying, I do stuff like X and Y. Okay. Next, expressing if, the conditional form, looks like there are two main ways.
Yes, two common ways to say if. One uses an aba ending. You take the plain form, drop the final u, and add riba.
Okay, drop ru, add a ba.
Right. Example. Nihon ni ikeba nara ni iketai desu. If I go to Japan, I want to go to Nara, ikeba from iko.
And the other way.
Uses the plain past tense form, the ta form, plus ra. So, tara, example. Pravelur chikan ga tara, enwashite kudasai. If you have time, please call me. Atara from aru to have ba.
So, aba and fara both mean if. Are they interchangeable?
Mostly, yeah, especially for beginners. There are some subtle differences in nuance and usage, but often you can use either.
Okay. And there's a related phrase mentioned, nakira banaranai.
Ah, yes. That uses the negative conditional nakireba plus naranai. It means must do or have to do.
Example.
Shukure wa shinakireba naranai. I must do my homework. Literally something like, if I don't do homework, it won't do.
Okay, must do. Got it. Conditions covered. What about telling someone what to do? Like commands. The imperative form. Sounds serious.
It can be. The guide notes it's often used by superiors to inferiors. It's quite direct.
How's it formed?
For group 1 verbs, drop the final u, add e. So gaku becomes afoi, kake, right. For group 2, add ro to the stem. Tabaru becomes rve, eat.
And the irregulars?
Guru becomes arshiro, do it.
Mhm.
Or for a negative command, don't do it.
Examples of usage.
The guide gives. Open it, open it. Shizuka nishiro, be quiet. Pull it, pull it. So it definitely sounds like orders.
Yeah, they do. Is there a softer way to give an instruction?
Yes, thankfully. There's the nazai form. It's still command, often used parent to child or teacher to student, but it's softer than the plain imperative.
How does that work?
For group 1, drop you, add a nase. For group 2, just add nase to the stem.
Examples.
Horti, suwari nase. Please sit down. Suwari nase. Come here. Still directive, but less harsh.
Okay, commands covered. Now, how about suggesting things or expressing your own intention, the volitional form?
Right, this is your let's do, or I think I'll do.
Formation.
For group 1, plain form, drop u, add u.
So kaku becomes aaku. The polite equivalent is the pre-masu stem plus mashu, so like mashu, so plain form, madu, to the stem. Tabaru becomes aso. Polite is just stem plus mashu, so asu, the stem of mashu.
And irregulars.
Nrao kuru is puyo plain, koyo plain, shimashu polite.
Huyu.
Suru is shi plain, shimashu polite.
Examples of using it.
Oh, karaoke mashu. Let's go to karaoke. That's the polite suggestion. Jawaka mashuka. Shall I open the door? Offering help. And for intention, kujua, hojachua, atarashi butsu wa kao to omoteru. I'm thinking I'll buy new boots, using the plain volitional ko.
Right, that mashu ending is the classic let's form.
Okay.
Next, potential form. This is for saying you can do something. Ability.
Exactly. Can do.
How's it made?
Group 1, dropu, add arrow. So kaku becomes akero, can write.
Add reru to the stem. Tabaru becomes ashi no. Tabaru can eat. Kuru becomes arshikiru can eat. Ashiwa, it's super common.
Examples in sentences.
Ten kani. Ryuji goro aimasu. I can meet around 10 o'clock. Aimasu is the polite form of arrow, from o to meet. Tabarane masuka. Can you eat this? Polite form of tabarar arrow. Smith-sama Fransugo wo hanasuru. Mr. Smith can speak French. Plain form hanasuru from hanasu, to speak.
Okay, I can understand this. Great. Now, what about when something is done to you? Passive voice. The passive form.
Right. This often implies something happened to the subject, sometimes with a negative feeling, like you were inconvenienced.
Formation.
Add rel-ru to the stem. Tabaru.
Wait.
That's the same as the potential form for group 2.
Ah, good catch. Yes, for group 2 verbs, the potential and passive forms look identical. Tabaru can mean can eat or be eaten. Context tells you which.
Wow, okay. That's important. Irregulars.
Bankuraru, to become, sounds odd, but used like someone came unwantedly. Also identical to the potential form. Suru, to be done. This one's different.
Examples of the passive.
Kaban wa nusumareta. My bag was stolen. Nusumareru from nusumu, to steal. Clearly passive negative feeling. Minaga ama ni furareta. Everyone got rained on. Furareru from furu, to fall. Rain. Again, passive inconvenience. Ai Smith-sani miraremashita. I was seen by Mr. Smith. Mirareru from miru, to see. Passive.
Okay. Now, making someone do something. The causative form.
Yes, causing or letting someone perform an action.
How do we form this one?
Group 1, drop hu, add asuru. Kavul makelet right, there's a slight twist for verbs like kau ending in a vowel plus u, they use waseru, like kawaseru.
Okay, group 2.
Add aseru to the stem, kabanu was waseru, makelet eat.
Wataseru. Makelet kam. Suru saseru. Makelet takto. Suru makeleto. Examples. Was Miss San Hamago Vusupani Kesemashita? Mr. Smith made his grandchild go to the supermarket. Polite past causative ikaseru from iku. Watashi ni yaresete kudasai. Please let me do it. The form plus surasai of yaraseru from yaru, to do, was sarshi. Okasan wa koromo ni yase wa tabesaset. The mother made her child eat vegetables. Plain past causative tabesaseru from tabiru.
Okay, making or letting someone do something. Now, this next one sounds intense. The causative passive form. What on earth is that? The guide says it's rarely used in English.
Yeah, it's a bit of a mind bender. It means you were made to do something by someone else, usually implying you didn't want to. It combines the meanings of causative and passive.
Okay, being made to do something. How is that formed?
Group 1, drop u, add asirareru. Okay, passive apu ajaharu.
Add sasarareru to the stem. Tabaru, tabesasarareru, be made to eat.
Irregulars.
Kuru kosasarareru, be made to come. Suru, sasarareru, be made to do.
Can you give an example? The guide implies one about a sweater.
Right, like, he was made to buy a black sweater. The guide gives a clearer sentence example, though. Kanojo wa okusan ni takusan benkyu sasarareta. She was made to study a lot by her mother. Benkyu sasarareta. From benkyu suru, you can feel the against her will nuance.
Definitely sounds like something you wouldn't enjoy. Okay, that's a lot of verb forms. Phew! Now, the guide circles back a bit to levels of speech. Plain, polite, and these honorific styles. It's amazing how language reflects social structure.
It really is. Japanese is very sensitive to social context. Who you are, who you're talking to, the situation. It all affects your word choices, especially verbs. Plain is casual, polite is standard formal, and then honorific. That's for specific situations showing deference or respect.
Honorific elevates the person you're talking about or to, and humble lowers yourself.
Exactly. Honorific speech respects the listener third person. Humble speech shows modesty about yourself or your group.
And the guide shows arkaiku in the past tense again, across these levels.
Yep. Plain past, okaki. Polite past, kakimashita. Honorific past, okaki ni narimashita. Used when talking about someone respected doing the writing. Humble past, okaki shimashita. Used when talking about yourself or someone in your group writing, speaking to someone respected.
Fascinating how one action has so many ways to be expressed depending on the social dynamics. The guide also quickly covers copulas, the to-be verbs.
Right, essential stuff. Ora is the plain amisar, and ardo is the polite version. They have their own little conjugation charts for present, past, negative, te form, conditional. Super fundamental.
Example.
Daijou wa jakyu. Watashi wa gakusei desu. I am a student. Polite. Karo wa sensei deshita. He was a teacher. Polite past. You can't build sentences without these.
Definitely building blocks. Okay, then there are common adjuncts. Little bits you attach to verb stems to add extra meaning, like verb helpers.
Exactly. They're like handy suffixes that modify the verb's meaning. Really useful shortcuts.
Like yasui,
For easy.
Yeah. Attach it to the pre-masu stem, wakaru to understand. Stem is yasui, yasui, easy to understand. Sonon wa wakaru yasui. That book is easy to understand.
And the opposite, nikui for difficult.
Same idea. Naro to learn, stem arai. Add nikui, nara nikui, difficult to learn. Chugoku nara nikui, Chinese is difficult to learn.
What about wanting to do something?
Yep. Stem plus tai for want to do, or takunai for don't want to do. Nihon ni ikitai, I want to go to Japan. Gaku ni ikitakunai, I don't want to go to school.
And there are others mentioned. Nagara for while doing.
Right. Stem plus RRR. Nagara. Tipsitsu ni ikitakuna. Magara fu desu. Aruki nagara tabanai de kudasai. Please don't eat while walking.
Gosu desu. Well, looks like or seems like.
Stem plus, we mentioned te plus hoshi, but the guide lists it here too, maybe meaning want someone else to do.
Yes, often used with the te form, as we discussed, but can sometimes attach to the stem too for slightly different nuances, or simply meaning want. Fonpu, sonnaga wo mite hoshi desu. I would like you to see that movie. Here it is with the te form.
Okay. And laito, whenever or if not. Right. Plain form plus to can mean whenever or when. Aichi ni heru to kutsu no gimasu. Whenever I enter the house, I take off my shoes. Plain negative plus to, or naito, means if you don't, then something bad happens. Okane wo harawanai to bijutsuka ni harenai. If you don't pay, you can't enter the museum.
And rashi, it seems like based on hearsay or evidence.
Yeah, attaches to plain forms. Smith-san wo okoru rashi. It seems Mr. Smith has returned. Smith-san wo okoru rashi. It seems Mr. Smith will be late, based on what you've heard or observed.
Okay, these adjuncts add a lot of flavor. The guide also briefly touches on transitive and intransitive verbs. That distinction can be tricky.
It can. Transitive verbs take a direct object marked by wo. Like, kuhi wa nomimashita. I drank coffee. Coffee is the direct object.
And intransitive don't have a direct object. Their subject is marked by...
Usually, yes. Like, toki ga narimashita. The alarm clock rang. The clock did the ringing. Nothing received the action.
But there's a catch. Sometimes intransitive verbs use wo.
Yeah, typically for movement through or along a place. Example, I ran the race course in 10 minutes. Hashiru, to run, is intransitive, but here, wo marks the space being moved through.
Interesting nuance. Okay, almost there. Compound verbs, combining verbs to make new meanings.
Right, several ways this happens. One is te form plus another verb.
Like arsur motakuru.
Exactly. Motsu, to hold. Notte, plus o. Kuru, to come, motiku, to bring an inanimate thing.
And no moteku.
Same idea. The few to go motiku, to kudasai. But the is motiku, to take an inanimate thing. Example. Ashita mon fo motekate kudasai. Please bring your books tomorrow.
And there are similar ones for taking people.
Yep. Using haru to lead a company, to form hai chirte. So hachirte kuru to bring someone, and chirteku to take someone. Example. Ashita Smith-san ikime chudekimasu. I will take Mr. Smith to the train station tomorrow.
Okay, that's to plus verb. What's the next type? Pre-masu stem plus verb.
Yes, combining the pre-masu stem with certain auxiliary verbs, like stem plus aro, to begin. Aroku, to walk. Konasu yoheo, to begin walking. Stem plus aro, to end. Yomu, to read. Haroru, to finish reading. Stem plus aro, to correct redo, to write. Tabasujiro, to rewrite. Stem plus aru, to do too much. Tabo, to eat. To eat, tabasujiro, to overeat. Stem plus aru, to continue, requires the pre-masu stem. Lots of possibilities there. And then there's the noun plus suru pattern. Just add suru to a noun. Super common. Turns nouns, often Chinese-derived ones, into verbs. The guide lists tons. Anai suru, to guide. Benku suru, to study. Chikoku suru, to be late. Denwa suru, to phone. Roku suru, to travel.
Ryoku suru, to cook. Ranaku suru, to clean. Unten suru, to drive. yokokusuru, to reserve.
Exactly. A huge category of verbs are formed this way. Very productive pattern.
And it works for borrowed words too. Katakana words plus suru.
Yep. Same principle. Take a loan word, usually written in katakana, add our suru. Like akusesu suru, to access, apusuru to upload, kansu suru to cancel, kuriku suru to kexes, apusuru to copy, dansu suru to dance, danruru suru to cancel, meru suru to click.
Exactly. Endless possibilities as new words come into the language.
Okay, compound verbs covered. The guide then dives deeper into those humble and honorific forms again, showing specific patterns and even special irregular verbs. Right, it gives more concrete ways to form them. For honorifics, one pattern is o plus verb stem plus ninaru.
Example.
Kono hon wo oyomi ni narimashita ka? Have you read this book? Polite, honorific way of asking someone respected. Yomu oyomi ni naru. And there are special irregular honorifics, like for koko mi iku kuru, it's an oyohiru, it's arisonji desu. Examples for those. Zuduchira kare wo yoshimi desu ka? Where did you come from? Very polite. Oh, Smith-san wo gozonji desu ka? Do you know Mr. Smith? Polite honorific.
And the passive form can be used as honorific too.
Sometimes, yes, as a slightly less formal honorific. Isitsaka da oyashi shimetasu. Kagi ni ikarimashita ka? Did you go to the meeting? Using ikaru passive potential of iku instead of masu. How about polite honorific requests?
Often duzo plus o plus primasu stem plus kudasai, like ojaso ka ogusasai. Please sit down. Some irregulars here too, like for sit, suaru, you often use kakuru, duzo kaki kudasai. Or for look, miru moru, kwa ni naru, nuzogara ni kudasai, please take a look.
Okay, that's elevating the other person. Now for humble forms, lowering yourself.
One pattern is o plus primasu stem plus suru. Example, sugu kashi shimasu. I will return it soon. Humble. Kaisu to kashi suru.
More examples.
Kojunwen. Weju wayer fayu. Koyer wakashin wo kenkyu nichit ohanashi shitai to omotemasu. Today, I would like to talk about my research. Humble. Hanasu to hanashi suru. Watashi wa Smith to moshimasu. I'm called Smith. Humble version of you, say be called. Mosu is the special humble verb.
Another irregular humble.
Yes, for meat, oh, the humble is arfi yes. Example. Watashi wa ashita, Sato sensei ni o nikakarimasu. I will see Professor Sato tomorrow. Humble.
And there's an even more polite humble form, using itasu.
Yes, o plus primasu stem plus itasu is generally more humble polite than suru. Example. Hea meiro mochi itashimasu. I will carry it to your room. Very humble. Motsu omoshi itasu.
Wow. And the guide finishes this section with a big chart, right? Showing plain versus honorific versus humble for key verbs.
Exactly. Super helpful chart comparing verbs like ikukuru, taberu, suwaru, iru, suru, miru, ao, iu, ajeru, kureru, morao, shiru, and the copula da desu across the different politeness levels. Really worth studying that.
Definitely. And it reminds us again about the list of essential verbs to memorize in the guide. Romaji, English, hiragana, kanji. Can't skip that step.
Nope. Vocabulary is king. You need the verbs to use all these cool forms.
And just a couple of final notes from the guide, explaining the long vowel sounds notation, like ow for oo, and including a hiragana syllables chart. Practical tools.
Very practical. Good references to have right there.
So, wrapping this deep dive up.
Yeah.
Japanese verbs, okay, they have this structure, right? Groups, conjugation patterns.
Yeah.
It might seem incredibly complex at first.
It can feel that way. But there is a system. It's logical, mostly. Each form has its job, tense, politeness, ability, passive, causative, all these different shades of meaning. It's not just random.
Right. It's a system designed to communicate a lot of information efficiently once you understand the rules.
Exactly. And yeah, the learning curve can feel steep, but understanding these core ideas, using a guide like this one, it makes it way more manageable. You start having those aha moments.
Definitely. So for you listening, the encouragement is keep at it. Revisit this stuff, look at the guide again, but most importantly, look for these forms out in the wild.
Yeah. Watch anime, listen to J-pop, read manga, whatever you enjoy. See how these verbs are actually used by native speakers. That's how it really starts to click.
Absolutely. And maybe a final thought to leave you with. Think about how this whole complex system of verb changes, especially the politeness levels, the honorifics, the humble forms. How does that reflect deeper things about Japanese culture, about communication style, social awareness, the importance of respect?
Ah, yeah. It's not just grammar, is it? It's a window into how society is structured and how people navigate relationships. Something definitely worth pondering as you continue your learning journey.